talk about Atlantis, how it's lost beneath the sea.
Hello everyone, my name is Anya, and in this video we're going to take a look at what happened on this day in the year 1992. This is an event that happened 30 years ago and it is considered one of the greatest events in the history of Gaelic football. And also, if I don't cover this event, my mum and dad might not speak to me again. I'm just kidding. So for this video, we're going to take a look at the 1992 All-Ireland Senior Football Championship Finals, where it was Dublin versus Donegal. So let's start off with a little bit of background. How did Dublin and Donegal make it into the finals? Both teams started out in their provincial senior football championships. Let me explain. In Ireland, there are 4 provinces: Ulster, Munster, Leinster and Connacht. Donegal is based in Ulster and Dublin is based in Leinster. Donegal started their work in the Ulster Senior Football Championships. They defeated County Derry in the finals and won for 1992. This win allowed them to qualify for the semi-finals, where they defeated County Mayo in Croke Park. And this wouldn't be the last time they faced County Mayo in Croke Park. More on that later. Meanwhile, Dublin worked in the Leinster Senior Football Championships, where they defeated County Kildare for the finals. After qualifying for the semi-final, they ended up defeating County Clare in Croke Park. And so, for the finals of 1992, it was Dublin going off against Donegal. After it was determined which teams had qualified for the finals, it became clear that Dublin were the main favourites to win the Sam Maguire Cup. This belief was down to both experience and success. Let me explain. Up until that point that they had qualified for the 1992 finals, Dublin had actually already won the All-Ireland Football Championship 21 times. You heard me right, 21 times. And please remember, this was back in 1992, 30 years ago. The last time they had won the championship up to that point had been in 1983, so everyone believed that Dublin had a high chance of winning for the 22nd time. In stark comparison, this was the very first time that Donegal had ever qualified for the All-Ireland finals. They had never qualified up until 1992. They had never been able to win the Sam Maguire Cup. So, up for the 1992 finals, Dublin's chances of winning were up there, Donegal's chances of winning were down here. So, it's not surprising why everyone was under the belief that Dublin would win this time around. At least, that's what everybody believed up until the 20th of September 1992. So let's see what happened on this day in the year 1992. For the 1992 All-Ireland Football Finals, 64,547 people made their way into Croke Park wearing their respective football teams' jerseys, waving their flags and all itching with anticipation, waiting to see which of the teams would bring back the Sam Maguire Cup. Here's a list of all the team players for the Donegal and Dublin teams. I'm not going to list all of them, otherwise we'd be here all day. But the Donegal team was captained by Anthony Malloy and their manager was Brian McKeeniff, while Dublin was captained by Tommy Carr and their manager was Paddy Cullen. And so, with the blow of the referee's whistle, the final of the 1992 All-Ireland Senior Football Championship had begun. The whole country and his wife were convinced that Dublin were going to walk away as the All-Ireland champions for the 22nd time. When the Donegal team arrived at the Sherborne Hotel the night before the match, they were actually provided with matchbooks that read Dublin 1992 All-Ireland champions. That's how convinced everybody was that Dublin was going to win. Dublin started off the match quite strongly in the first few minutes, managed to keep a steady level ahead of Donegal. In fact, it took Donegal 7.5 minutes for them to be able to score their first point of the entire match. But things took a turning point when Dublin were granted a penalty shot and missed. This proved to be the turning point for the Donegal team. This is when the momentum began to shift. Dublin continued to keep a steady level ahead of Donegal, but as the match progressed, slowly but surely, Donegal began to gain the advantage. By the time there was 10 minutes left of the first half of the match, Donegal had managed to gain a 3-point lead ahead of Dublin. And by the time the half-time whistle blew, Donegal was in the lead with a score of 10 points to Dublin's 7. As the match progressed into the second half, spectators and commentators began to realise that maybe this match wasn't going to end as they had anticipated. Maybe the rank outsiders, as Donegal had been regarded up to that point, were going to pull a surprise win. Maybe this was the first time that Dublin may not be so lucky against an Ulster county. This was the 18th time that Dublin had faced a county from Ulster, and 17 times in a row Dublin had pulled off a victory. Maybe this time things would be different. By the time the second half of the match had begun, the spectators and commentators were itching with anticipation. Donegal had taken the lead at this point, and there was no going back. No matter how hard Dublin tried to regain the momentum, Donegal always remained one step ahead of them. This momentum for the Donegal team continued right to the very end of the match, right up until the referee blew the final whistle of the entire game. With a final score of 18 points to 14, Donegal had won.
Directing operations, Martin McHugh got 3. The team captain, Anthony Malloy, gave a stirring performance in midfield. Their backs were quite superb. And it's a win that will thrill Gaelic fans, I'm sure, throughout the country. History is made. Anthony Malloy, the first Donegal man to lift Sam. Sam Maguire, the All-Ireland final is won by Donegal.
The outcome of the 1992 All-Ireland Senior Football Championship proved to be a shock all across the country. Up to that point, everybody had been so convinced that Dublin was going to pull off a 22nd win. But instead, it was Donegal, a county that had never won the Sam Maguire Cup before, a county that had only just made its maiden debut at the All-Ireland Senior Football Finals, that was bringing the Sam Maguire Cup home. Safe to say, not just in Donegal, but all across Ireland, there was major celebration for the Donegal team. I think it's safe to say that the celebrations lasted quite a long time after that. Donegal's victory against Dublin in 1992 proved to be an inspiration for other counties in Ireland who, up to that point, hadn't fared so well in the football championships. Counties such as Armagh, Derry and Tyrone were all inspired by Donegal's achievement, and they've all gone on to win the Sam Maguire Cup for themselves. 20 years after their victory against Dublin, Donegal actually won the All-Ireland Senior Football Championships again in 2012. And thankfully, yours truly had been born by that point, so she was able to go and see the match in Croke Park with her family. On the 23rd of September 2012, this time managed by Jim McGuinness, Donegal defeated Mayo in the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship with a score of 2 goals and 11 points to 13. Let's just say there was plenty of celebration once again. There was a lot of parties, hoo-has, and there was also that very catchy song inspired and dedicated to Jim McGuinness. What was it called again?
Jimmy's winning matches. Jimmy's winning games. Jimmy's bringing Sammy back to Donegal again.
Oh yes, that was the one. Donegal actually reached the finals again in 2014. Unfortunately, third time wasn't so lucky. They ended up losing this time to County Kerry, which is unfortunate, but you can't win all of them. Dublin have also gone on to have great success in the All-Ireland football as well. They've ended up increasing their wins to 30 victories, including a 6-year consecutive winning streak between 2015 and 2020. Their winning streak was brought to an end in 2021 after losing to County Mayo in the semi-finals. But a 6-year consecutive winning streak, that's definitely impressive, you have to admit. So now next year will be 2023, and another year of Gaelic football will begin. So, who do you think will bring the Sam Maguire Cup back home this time? Do you think they'll bring Sam back to Donegal again? Do you think Dublin will add another victory to their list? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun recording this, and it was fun to look back on this momentous occasion in Gaelic football history. And I hope it was a little happy memory for all of you up in Donegal. I really hope that I made you all proud with this video. My next video is going to be nowhere near as joyous, but I don't want to say any more about it this time round. I don't think it's the time or the place. Until the next time, my name is Anya, and we just looked at what happened on this day.
And if I could, I'd build a wall around El Donegal, the north and south to keep them out. My God, I'd build it tall. Casinos, chicken ranches, I'd legalize them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Yeah, Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. White clubs and all night pubs, blackjack and roulette. Dale Blaney, Bridget Nielsen, Mike Tyson having a bet. In a show could then be known for his multi-millionaires, where Donald Trump would like a chunk to live in solitaire.